All right, give me just a sec here. Make sure everything's going good. Going well, I guess. Alrighty then. Okay. And get our music going. Any guess to what I'm going to be playing today? That's right. ELO, Alone in the Universe. All right. We're back for another week of graphic design. Or I should say, hello, boys and girls. This is Old Man Yells at Cloud for my Patreon, Blue Powder Monkeys. And I'm doing design work for Norwescon Science Fiction Fantasy Program. Uh-oh. I hit the space bar before I touched my screen, which means it made the YouTube video play at like top speed. There we go. All right. Well, last week I had an annoying dry cough, which I'm just getting over with, so there might be a little of that. But I janked my back on Friday, maybe, because I'm old. So I'm doing okay right now. I've been taking pain meds and sleeping a lot and doing all that. So, but I might be a little fidgety, more than normal. All right. So where we left off, we had I'll show you a cool little thing. Like, so I did this little logo here. Norwescon has sort of an official logo right now, but we're talking about potentially sort of redesigning it. So I'm using this project as kind of an experiment. So for example, I kind of came up with this sort of simple word mark, and we're going to be using, I'll show you on the cover. I'm going to be using something like this on the cover. I'm going to kind of redo this because it's faded out a little too much. And then I did this, oh God, off you go. I did this little badge thing. I'll show you. Money when I was a boy. So we use Guidebook, which is an app for conventions and events and whatnot. So we needed a banner and then a little button for the app. And this little button will fit into here normally, like about like that. You're familiar. I mean, it's the same sort of thing as like Facebook does it. I know, probably Twitter, whatever. You have like your little banner and then you have like the little symbol of the thing. Anyway, I'm discovering kind of a theme as I go through the program, which I'll show you in a second, but that's what led to the twins on either side here. And then this, I took this from the logo that I just showed you and then added kind of a gear thing down here, which I may retro back into the guts one. That's sometimes how it works. Go back and forth, and then this more than likely will get transferred over to the cover of the program, the thing that I just showed you. So that's what's basically going on. It's the idea of being able to vertically stack the word mark and kind of have identifiable fonts or characters that people can kind of look at. See, we could use this, and we could use this separately for just like a button or whatever, and the typeface, and everybody be like, oh, that's Norwescon. That's the idea behind good logo design anyway. So right now I got this, and this set that theme, this painting by Geneva, who's the artist guest of honor. I did a little mirror text and all that. So then this more than likely will be an ad. I'm kind of just sussing out how many pages we need. I have like 80 here, I think. I don't know if we'll need more or less. I mean, we're already up to 33. Whew. So table of contents, and I'll kind of massage this text a little bit more as we get closer. A letter from the chair. This is all lorem ipsum, which is just nonsense text set up to look like text, so you can get kind of an idea how many words and characters you can fit and how things will look, how your design works and all that. That's a setting up in here where you text fill, I think. Insert maybe. Might have to have like an empty text block, but it'll give you an option to fill with placeholder text, I think they call it. Then we're going to go into guest of honor biographies, which you can see kind of laid out here. And that was based on a master page I did up here. You apply these master pages. In theory, there are master pages up here. I'm not sure what's going on or why they aren't. Actually, what I'm going to do, because this has been open and shut a couple of times today, so there might be some weird memory issues. I don't know how smooth. I don't know how smooth Affinity is. There we go. I still haven't done my. I need to sit down and design my interface. You can kind of choose which of these things you want, and you can drag tools into different ones. So there's, in a lot of ways, no reason to have like a vector and a pixel and a blah, blah, blah. Probably just to use like a layout or typography one and then add the stuff from these other two categories that I want. But we'll get to that. I won't do that on this kind of thing. That's the kind of thing you would probably properly do a tutorial on or whatever. So it looks like I did two of these. Oh yeah, I had an idea to do this and then I switched to this one. So the ones that you see down here are the guest of honor bios 2. And that's text blocks, placeholder name stuff, and then the photograph of the person. This is for the artist guest of honor who wants to use an illustration instead of a photograph. And the illustration she supplied is cute and, in my opinion, a little too small. So I've emailed her and asked her if we can get a bigger copy of it so it can kind of fill up a little more space, because she's not going to have a lot of bio information, I don't think. So I may be able to kind of put that into here and then put like another illustration over here or something. And then there's like a science guest of honor and publisher and special and something else. Anyway, it's all set up there. Then we have the Philip K. Dick Awards, which is a science fiction award given out for writers. And this sort of talks about it a little bit. These will be the 7 nominees. I'll get the paperback covers or hardback covers, whatever, and just kind of throw them up here. Some weird shit going on down here. What's going on? What's this white line? Oh, these things have fucking lines around them for some reason. Because that was the last setting I probably did. I remember, oh, it was for these ones up here. And then when I made these, they maintain their shenanigans. They maintain settings, which I guess overall is the right way to do that. Come on. Did I do it? Okay, good. So yeah. These don't feel like they're lined up right. Down. Yeah, they're a little sloppy. So I guess the first thing I'll do is clean these up. All right, so do I have... I do, okay. All right, so those seem fine. Oh, actually, they don't. There we go. The trick with this kind of stuff that you're doing repeated blah, blah, blah with or whatever is to spend extra time, super extra time, to make sure this one is perfect. Then you can just copy it. All right, so that looks pretty good, right? And we can't be distracted by these little doodads down here. In theory, they should be lined up perfectly as well. Sorrow. As you can see, I must have just been getting tired near the end there. That would have been the last, I think the last time I worked, which was probably Thursday. These are set with the same, they're the same as the text that's in the regular document as far as, there's a thing called a baseline grid, and it's like lines on a note, lines on paper. There we go. Use baseline grid, show baseline grid. Say, like literally blue lines on the paper, and you can set the text on them. What you want to do that for is a thing called backing, where this piece of text, and then you flip the page, and whatever text is on the back side of that page is lined up on the same lines, so that if you were to take that page and hold it up to light, the text is on top of each other as opposed to offset. And if it's offset, you get weird ghosts through the paper, and the printing sometimes gets a little weird too. So anyway, so you set up headlines, and anything you can, you set up on that baseline grid, aside from very special occasions. And they're set up with the same leading, which is the space in between lines of text. So for all intents and for all intent and purposes, intents and purposes, they are set up exactly the same as all the rest of the text. Plus, you're training the viewer's eye to be like, hey, look here. Look in this spot each time you flip the page. And then you can, if something is out of that, then that attention is drawn to it automatically. So the other thing I talked about, which I'll go over here a little bit since I'm on this page, is I'm using a font for the titles that's different than the text font. The text font, I'm mostly using Sophia. For titles right now, I'm using condensed, bold, compact standard, something like that. Yeah, compacta, which is a pretty old school, I think 60s-ish font, if I remember right. Anyway, I like the narrowness of it, but because of that Norwescon logo I showed you earlier with the big circle planet gear things, I'm using the large O's, which actually is Sophia. That's the other font. It's all sans serif. These clearly don't match. As you can see, their normal O's look like this. And I'm not using them everywhere, but because I don't think they work everywhere. I don't think they'd work here at all, or here. This would be too much. You could maybe do one and leave the other one to be like artsy, but it's too much. And having these next two would look like binoculars in the middle of books, so we don't want that. But they're definitely going to be at the beginning of a word. It's like a drop cap almost. So you have this orbit thing. And then I like it on Solaris as well. So no specific reason other than it looks good. All right, so Alt, and let go of Alt, and Shift. There. In the night comes. My hands are a little shaky. What's called intentional tremors, which is like the old guy shakes. Basically, a lot of old people get them. It's not like Parkinson's or anything like that. Parkinson's, your hands shake when you all the time. You don't want them to, and they're like at rest. Basically, they shake, and then eventually the body shakes, and it's generally bad news. Parkinson's is not good. I think Michael J. Fox has that, so there's a really good documentary about him and how he's handled it. Intentional shakes are just when I'm tired or doing precision work sometimes. Um, or you can kind of force it to happen, sort of thing, get that little shake thing. And there's medicine for it. It never goes away. There's medicine for it, but my doctor basically was like, the side effects of the medicine are not great. So, if it's ever an issue, just do what the old guys did and drink a shot of whiskey to kind of mellow your nerves out or whatever. And I'm like, okay, I don't mind whiskey. I don't drink a lot, but every once in a while. But it works fine here. I learned too that a lot of doctors, like, I've heard stories of like surgeons that get it and they're still able to operate just fine. And they kind of keep an eye on them. And then at a certain time, you're not able to like stitch a wound up anymore. Your thread work's all blah, or you're shaking while you're doing something super important or whatever, then they will basically be like, it's time for you to retire, buddy. So these will shine are all messed up too for some reason. See how they overlap? And this may have started with the colors. Yeah, I remember I was just sort of like whipping stuff into place here last time I was working on this, which is fine a lot of times. Like, rough that thing out first, because all of this sort of precision polishing the stone stuff can you can get wrapped up in that and not get any work accomplished. What you do, and that's not good, obviously. These colors don't look anything at all like they do on the thing. Like, look, like that's the thumbnail and this is the color. It's like, what is going on there? I think I can set these guidelines to light up. Looks like red is across and green is vertical. So I'll just deal with that for now. Reason to change it up, just to change it. I do keep my margins usually pink or red or something that's fairly bright and obnoxious. Not that pink is obnoxious, but you don't use full-on pink things very often. Well, depending on the project, obviously, if you're doing a retrospection of Barbie or something or whatever, or retrospection of 17th, 18th century kings or whatever, because I think it was Sears that switched the whole pink blue thing. So you got a whole bunch of people thinking that pink is feminine and blue is masculine. And one, colors don't have gender, but two, it used to be opposite. So there's all these royalty stuff back in the day. They have their little pink outfits when they were boys or whatever. But my point is, a bright, a color that's doesn't look natural with the palette you've chosen is a great color to use for things like margin lines. What else did I used it for? I'll use it for text every once in a while. If I think something needs to get edited or checked, I'll just turn the text pink. And then when the editor gets it, they're just like, oh, I need to check this out because this clearly wasn't meant to be. Oh, my vision's a little blurry tonight. These glasses aren't the best. I should use some of that $2.30 or whatever I get from my Patreon to get me some new reading glasses. All right. That's left. that's going to be a different color. These are more than likely going to change color at a certain point, but for now. Ain't it a drag, babe? What a drag, babe. They're telling me. Has this got an outline on it? What's going on? Oh, it's showing. Okay. It shouldn't be showing me the next one because I have it turned off. Not even on this page, is it? What's on that page? Okay. Try. There's a good example. I'm using like a dark red. You can see it matters as far as space is concerned too. All right, so let's do that. All right, I'm seeing double. There we go. It's even clean? Yeah, they're clean. They're just crappy plastic though. Nice. All right. Looking for love. Yeah. Whoa. I want to come back to this and start working on it and be like, why isn't this shit working? And it's like, oh, I locked everything down. And said, oh my love. All right, cool. Cool. This is going to be longer. I already know. Genevieve, if you're watching, I'm pretty sure I flipped this one, which sometimes is a no-no, but that's one of the things artists do to see whether their work looks good or not. Figures especially, you draw it and then you just constantly sort of are flipping it back and forth to sort of check proportions and that kind of thing. This to me looks great still, and this was too interesting. So that's why. And then we have this. This one stands on its own. I'm so glad I found you. Don't want to be around you. Yeah, I'll have to make sure that gets corrected. Usually what we did for the cover, and I liked the idea of it, she sent me a version of her logo, basically. And my hope is that she can send logo-less versions because she works digitally. I'm pretty sure, well, she works digitally as far as I know. And then I can place the logo in a nice little corner and kind of color it to match the thing and all that. I don't know if this needs black borders or not. If I do black borders, though, then I'm going to have to extend the color out. But this also is kind of like, meh. Well, we're here to try stuff out, right? Well, that's why. Well, that's not horrible, right? Oh. But now I don't need the black border, right? Yeah, because it's not showing. That's fine. I like that. Let's call it good. You leave in me. Just now. Let's see if I want to have borders on these or not. I mean, this already has a border, so it might be a little redundant. So, yeah. Oh, goodness. I think that'll work. Because the image is bigger than. Oh, what's going on? Oh, I did put borders in there. Yeah, all right. Let's take these out. Let's see. Make a middle. Just before 7.8. Everything you should know. I found somebody new. And I'm with you. Jeff Lynne doing his best Roy Orbison impersonation. Hello? Oh, never mind. You did what you're supposed to. Not quite big enough. All right, so we're going to have to do for reals now. Oh, I can go to the outside. All right. That doesn't do much. No. Talk to me. So weird that it doesn't snap to the bleed, even though I have it checked. Talk to me. All right, so that one's perfect. So we look down here and we see that it's this by that. Cowbell. Okay. Oh, all right. So this one's off. These three are perfect. One step at a time. Cool. There's a little gap there. That looks me. Talk to me. So now I'm in danger of misproportioning it. I might have to stand up at a certain point. Ah. So. Snowy nails. Unknown. Alone. The unknown. Okay, they're all the same size. For some reason, these ones look like they're slightly off the bottom of the thing down here. So that is interesting. Which may mean this isn't exactly in the middle. I'm going to call it good. All right, cool. No matter where I had a roam, the only good show. And then we'll get the double thickness in the middle because they're all together, which is annoying. Unless they're overlapped somehow. or unless I build a... Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to build it. So let's put that to 0. Zap it off in case there's any weirdness. Read the end of my album. It is. Sometimes I have my soundtrack that I do, but today we are listening to our next album is Fiona Apple, Extraordinary Machine, which I think is her 3rd album. Dun, dun. Dong. Ralph around. It's changing all the time. Oh, the same. There's a better way I would find me. The road is something behind me. And to me, or treat me mean. I'll make the most of it. I'm an extraordinary machine. I could do each of them individual colors pulled from the painting themselves. It would require me to create a line. I may even have to do individual lines. I'd have to make these ones half what the rest of them are. It's mind at ease. There's a better way that would find me. Yep, the road goes up behind me. Kind to me, treat me mean. I'll make the most of it. I'm an extraordinary machine. I'm not even going to try to do Fiona Apple's head voice falsetto. I have to drop it like 4 octaves. Oh, maybe I'm not loving this pink. Or lavender, I should say. Roads and goes ahead behind me. To me, treat me mean. I make the most of it. I'm an extraordinary machine. So no matter way that could be. To me, I mean, getting there. It's on the previous page. It's not bad. Partial to that. Burrs. Yeah, okay. Different viewer here. It's one thing I've mentioned this before with Affinity is you don't have a desktop or you don't have space out here to work, which is super annoying. All right. Under Taylor, why'd you do it? Do that for Sailor, it go, don't. Sorry about that. Definitely need to. Oh, son of a bitch! I need to set up a shortcut key for snapping. I just heard thumping noises, but it's too early for cat play. So probably neighbors. Probably neighbors doing shenanigans. Last night night. Plans. Oh, like it. All right, now comes the hard cut. Although the other two could still appear somewhere. Back, my poor back. Uh, like this one, but color wise, not my favorite, or not color wise is just fine. Matching these other ones definitely is the outlier that way. Oh, scrape. So many ways you could split these up color wise or weapon wise if you wanted to get super nerdy. I think for now that's it. Ow, ow, ow. 13th ferry here. Is that one? It's this one. It's a pretty good ferry, too. I don't know who I'd swap out, though. Oh, yeah. Is she in here already? Nope. That's one. That's one. Let's go just two. I really like this one. I think I might. Oh. Oh. Cool. Cool. I'm just going to leave the fairies scattered right now. back, my hip. All right. Professional panel members, eh? All right. Deleted it all. Oh no. All right. I had a spreadsheet that I was going to work out here. Oh, hello, spreadsheets. All right. Need a placeholder image. Excellent. Google Drive's so annoying, by the way the navigation works. Not about love. It's not love. That's too bad. Northwest NWCT. Yeah. Shoot. Well, I'm not going to be able to figure that out, so it's time to move on. Trying to figure out how many panel pros are. Sometimes that's just the way it goes. I'll check one more spot here. Nope. Okay, cool. All right. Not even going to save that because there's no reason to. No reason to. Guess I could count. Oh, fuck. Back. That's 30, 40-ish. Goodness. I didn't need to reach like that. That was a bummer. Bright. Oh, shoot. Sounds like I am out of Fiona Apple. An Appleist. Let's see what else we got here. All right, I'm going with some Elliott Smith. Is that right? I think it is. This is probably too much work for placeholders, but that's the way I roll. Rough count of pro panelists. Professional panel members, and then we get into the actual art gallery, or we get into the, yeah, anyway. What I want, you want to do what you want to, and then stop you. Ah. Hey. One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20, 20-ish. Hmm. Is the night. Yeah. I'm getting ready to download. Artists. What should I be? Wrong. Tired of all this. Of me. Uh-oh. Where did that go? Nothing exciting's going on here. I think I'll shut it off because nothing's going to be going on. I'm just going to be choosing art for the art gallery and sort of placing, check up here and place like placeholder pages basically. The dealer will be a page. Don't know, memorial. That's, I don't even know if I'm doing members, honestly. But anyway, thanks for hanging out this long. We're getting closer to kind of getting all the rough stuff settled up, and then it'll become the polishing, the stone polishing over and over. Thanks for following along. Have a good night.